She woke up to beeping machines and the smell of antiseptic. And Taehyun's voice, broken and raw, whispering the same 3 words over and over. Please don't leave. Please don't leave.
Please don't leave.
Please don't leave. But the eyes watching them through the hospital room camera weren't there to protect them. They were there to destroy them both. And the woman behind those eyes? She had been waiting 5 years for this moment. Hey fam, welcome back to Afro Soul Diaries. If you haven't subscribed yet, what are you doing? Hit that button now because episode 2 is about to get insane. Drop a comment telling me if you trust Min-jun, and let's get into this story. 72 hours earlier. Taehyun's hand closed around Min-jun's wrist. Not in gratitude. In a grip that could snap bone. Tell me the truth. His voice was barely human. Right now. Before I decide whether you leave this container alive. Min-jun didn't flinch. The truth is you're 30 seconds from losing consciousness. Ada has maybe less. We can have this conversation after I save your lives. You didn't answer my question. And you're wasting oxygen. Min-jun's voice hardened. So here's what's going to happen, brother. You're going to let go of my wrist. You're going to let me carry Ada out of this metal coffin. And then, when you can breathe again, when she's safe, you can decide if you want to kill me. Their eyes locked. 20 years of brotherhood. 20 seconds of air. Taehyun's vision tunneled. His grip loosened. He collapsed. Comment betrayal if you think Min-jun sold them out. Taehyun woke to fingers threading through his hair. Soft. Gentle. Familiar. Ada. Her name was barely a whisper. I'm here. Her voice was hoarse, damaged, but there. I'm right here. He forced his eyes open. Hospital room. White walls. And Ada, bruised, bandaged, but alive, sitting in a wheelchair beside his bed, her hand in his hair. You shouldn't be out of bed. He tried to sit up. Neither should you. She pressed him back down. But I woke up and you weren't there and her voice cracked. I needed to see you breathing. How long? 18 hours. They said you had severe oxygen deprivation. Your heart stopped twice in the ambulance. His hand found hers. And you? Broken ribs. Dislocated shoulder. Some burns. She said it so casually, like she was listing groceries. Nothing that won't heal. Ada. Don't. She pressed a finger to his lips. Don't apologize. Don't blame yourself. Don't do that thing where you take responsibility for other people's evil. They tortured you because of me. They tortured me because they are monsters. Not because you love me. Her eyes held his. There's a difference. The machines beeped steadily. Outside, Seoul hummed with morning traffic. Min-jun saved us, Taehyun said quietly. I know. I was awake when he carried me out. When he gave you CPR. When he called your mother and told her he had you both. Ada's grip tightened. He's not the traitor, Taehyun. How can you be sure? Because a traitor would have let us die. It would have been cleaner. Easier. She shifted in her wheelchair, winced. He's playing a different game. I just don't know what it is yet. Before Taehyun could respond, the door opened. Min-jun stood there, looking like he hadn't slept in days. You're both awake. Good. We need to talk. About how you betrayed me. Taehyun's voice was ice. About how I saved your life. But sure, we can start with betrayal if it makes you feel better. Min-jun closed the door. Young Soo-hyuk is dead. I put 2 bullets in his head myself. His entire operation is being dismantled as we speak. And Park Jin-woo? Also dead. Your mother handled that personally. Min-jun pulled up a chair. The threat is neutralized. Until the next one. Ada's voice was quiet. There's always a next one in your world, isn't there? Min-jun looked at her with something like respect. Yes. There is. Then we leave. Taehyun's voice was firm. Today. As soon as we can move. Leave Seoul. Leave everything. The syndicate. The empire. All of it. Taehyun looked at Ada. You were right. I can't ask you to live in a world where people torture you to get to me. I won't. Taehyun, Minjun started. This isn't a negotiation. I'm done. Find a new chairman. Run it yourself. I don't care. His hand tightened on Ada's. I'm choosing her. Over everything. Minjun was silent for a long moment. Then he smiled. Sad, but genuine. It's about damn time. The next 48 hours blurred together. Taehyun recovered faster than the doctors expected. Years of discipline and control meant he could force his body past normal limits. Ada was slower, but stubborn. I've survived worse, she said when the nurses tried to make her rest. When? Taehyun asked. When I was 7, I fell out of a tree and broke my arm. My mother said it herself because we couldn't afford the hospital. Ada smiled at the memory. She sang to me the whole time. Old Igbo songs. I didn't feel a thing. Sing for me now. You're not hurt. I'm recovering. It's medicinal. She laughed, then gasped as her ribs protested. Don't make me laugh. It hurts. Then I'll have to be very serious from now on. You? Serious? That'll be the day. And just like that, they were them again. Not victim and savior. Not crime lord and cleaner. Just them. That night, when the nurses had gone and the hospital settled into silence, Taehyun moved from his bed to hers. What are you doing? Ada whispered. I can't sleep over there. Too far away. Taehyun will get in trouble. I don't care. He slipped carefully under her blanket, mindful of her injuries. I almost lost you. I'm not spending another night in a separate bed. She shifted to make room, their bodies finding familiar positions despite the IVs and monitors. This is crazy, she murmured against his chest. Everything about us is crazy. Where will we go? If we really leave? Anywhere you want. I want somewhere new. Not Seoul. Not Lagos. Somewhere that's just ours. She tilted her head up to look at him. Somewhere we can learn to be normal people. I don't know how to be normal. Then we'll learn together. She kissed his jaw. His neck. The hollow of his throat. I'll teach you to be boring. You'll teach me to be brave. You're already brave. You survived Jung Soo-hyuk. I survived because of you. Because I knew you'd come for me. Always. His arms tightened around her. I will always come for you. They fell asleep tangled together, two broken people choosing to heal as one. But in the hallway outside, a camera recorded everything. And the woman watching the feed smiled. Enjoy it while it lasts, Taehyun, she whispered to the screen. Because I'm going to take everything from you. 3 days later. The plan was simple, disappear. Minjun had arranged everything, new identities, offshore accounts, a private plane to Bali. Far enough from Seoul to breathe. Far enough from Lagos that Ada's family wouldn't be collateral damage. Bali? Ada had asked when Taehyun told her. Beaches. Temples. No extradition treaties with South Korea. He'd smiled. And I've always wanted to learn to surf. You. Surfing. Is that so hard to imagine? You're scared of the ocean. I'm not scared, I'm cautious. You told me you can't swim. I can't. But I'm willing to learn. He'd pulled her close. For you, I'm willing to learn anything. Now they stood in his penthouse one last time. Ada in jeans and a simple blouse. Taehyun in clothes that cost more than most people's cars, but he'd promised to buy normal person clothes when they landed. Ready? He asked. Ada looked around the space where their story had begun. The piano where she'd first sung for him. The window where they'd shared whiskey and truth. The bedroom where everything had changed. I'm ready. The car arrived at dawn. Min-jun drove personally. I still think this is a mistake, he said as they loaded the minimal luggage. Noted. Taehyun's voice was light. Genuinely light. And ignored. Your mother wants to see you before you go. Tell her I'll call when we land. She'll kill me. You're the chairman now. You'll survive. At the airport, Min-jun pulled Taehyun aside one last time. Brother. If you need anything. I know. You'll be there. Taehyun embraced him. Thank you. For everything. For saving her. For saving me. Just, be happy. That's all I want. I'll try. They boarded the private plane. 10 steps from the car. 20 up the stairs. 30 into a new life. The door closed. The engine started. And Kwon Tae-hyun, chairman of the Jeomun-yong, most dangerous man in South Korea, flew away from everything he'd ever known. For a woman who made him believe he could be more. The flight was peaceful. Ada slept with her head on his shoulder. Taehyun watched her breathe and felt something unfamiliar in his chest. Hope. Actual, genuine hope. What are you thinking? Ada murmured, half awake. That I love you. I know that. What else? That I'm terrified I'll mess this up. That I don't know how to be a normal boyfriend. That I might wake up one day and realize I'm not built for peace. Then we'll figure it out. Together. Stop catastrophizing our future before we even get there. She kissed his palm. Just be with me. Right now. In this moment. That's all I need. So he was. Present. Whole. Free. For the first time in his life. They landed in Bali at sunset. The air was thick and sweet with humidity and frangipani. The sky burned orange and pink and gold. It's beautiful, Ada breathed. It's perfect. The villa Min-jun had arranged was small. Private. Overlooking the ocean with infinity pools and open-air rooms. This is small? Ada laughed. Your definition of small is concerning. Would you prefer a hut? I'd prefer anywhere with you. That night, they stood on their balcony watching the waves. No guards. No cameras. No threats lurking in shadows. Just them. Dance with me, Taehyun said suddenly. There's no music. So? We'll make our own. He pulled her close, mindful of her healing ribs. They swayed to nothing but the sound of the ocean and their own heartbeats. I can't believe we're here, Ada whispered. I can't believe this is real. It's real. I'm making sure of it. How? He kissed her. Slow and deep and full of promise. Like that. And like this. Another kiss. And like this. Taehyun. And if you still don't believe it's real, he lifted her carefully, carried her inside to the bedroom. I'll spend all night convincing you. My ribs. I'll be gentle. So gentle. I promise. And he was. Tender. Reverent. Like she was something holy. They made love slowly, carefully, relearning each other's bodies with hands and mouths and whispered promises. I love you, he breathed against her skin. I love you. I love you. Show me. So he did. Again and again until they both forgot that the world outside existed. Until there was nothing but skin and salt and the sound of two people choosing each other over everything. After, they lay tangled together, the ocean breeze cooling their heated skin. We should sleep, Ada murmured. We should. Neither of them moved. Taehyun? Thank you. For choosing me. For giving all this up to choose me. I didn't give up anything. I gained everything. She fell asleep in his arms. And Taehyun lay awake, watching her breathe, feeling like he'd finally, found where he belonged. But 2,000 miles away in Seoul, a woman stood in Taehyun's empty penthouse. She was beautiful. Terrifyingly so. Sharp cheekbones. Cold eyes. Lips painted blood red. Lee Yuna. Former fiancé. Current head of the Biko clan, the White Tiger Syndicate. And she was furious. He left. Her voice was venomous. He actually left. For her. Minjun stood carefully near the door. Chairman Lee, I understand you're upset, but... Upset? She whirled on him. I'm not upset. I'm insulted. 5 years ago, Taehyun called off our engagement. Said he wasn't ready for marriage. That he needed time. Her laugh was jagged glass. And now he runs off to Bali with some nobody? With respect, Ada Okonkwo is a cleaner. A foreign nobody with no family, no power, no connections. Yuna's eyes were ice. I am the head of the Biko clan. I control half of Busan's ports. I have connections in every major city in Asia. I would have made him a king. He didn't want to be a king. He didn't want to be my king. There's a difference. She picked up a photo from Taehyun's desk. Him and Ada in Lagos. Smiling. Happy. Does he know? Minjun went still. Know what? About the baby. The air left the room. What baby? Minjun's voice was deadly quiet. Yuna smiled. It was the most terrifying thing he'd ever seen. 5 years ago, when Taehyun ended our engagement, I was pregnant. 2 months. I was going to tell him that night. She set the photo down carefully. But he didn't give me the chance. He just ended it. Said he couldn't do it. Couldn't be what I needed. You never told him. Why would I? He'd made his choice. So I made mine. Her hand went to her flat stomach. I lost the baby 3 weeks later. Stress, the doctor said. Heartbreak. Yuna. Don't. Her voice cracked. Don't pity me. I've spent 5 years building my empire. Becoming untouchable. Waiting for the day when I could make Kwon Taehyun understand what he threw away. And now? Now he's happy. With her. In Bali. Playing house like some lovesick fool. Yuna's eyes hardened. So I'm going to take that happiness. Slowly. Painfully. Until he begs me to end it. If you hurt Ada. I'm not going to hurt her. Yuna's smile widened. I'm going to destroy her. Her family. Her brother. Everyone she's ever loved. And I'm going to make sure Taehyun watches every second of it. He'll kill you. Let him try. I've spent 5 years preparing for this. She walked to the window, looked out at the Seoul skyline. You have a choice, Minjun. You can stand with me, or I can destroy you too. You're insane. I'm heartbroken. There's a difference. She turned back to him. Here's what's going to happen. You're going to keep monitoring them. You're going to feed me every detail of their pathetic little life in Bali. And when I give the word, you're going to help me bring them both back to Seoul. Why would I do that? Yuna pulled out her phone. Showed him a video. Minjun's face went white. Where did you get that? I have friends everywhere. Even in your organization. The video showed Minjun meeting with a prosecutor. Exchanging files. That's enough evidence to put you away for 20 years.